Now another king arose over Egypt, one who didn't know Joseph. So he said to the people, "Listen, the Israelites are more numerous and more powerful than we. Come, let's deal shrewdly with them, or they will increase. And in the event of war, they'll join our enemies and fight against us and escape from the land." And so the Egyptians set taskmasters over the Israelites to oppress them with forced labor. They built supply cities, Pithom and Ramses, for Pharaoh. But the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread, so that the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites. The Egyptians subjected the Israelites to hard servitude, made their lives bitter with hard servitude in brick and mortar and in all kinds of field labor. They were ruthless in all they imposed on them. Now the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, whose name were Shiphrah and Puah. He said, "When you act as midwife to the Hebrew women, and you see them on the birth stool, if it is a son, kill him. And if it's a daughter, you can let her live." But the midwives feared God, and they didn't do as the king of Egypt commanded them. They let the boys live. So he summoned the midwives and he said, "Why? Why have you done this? You let the boys live." They said, "Oh, the Hebrew women? The Hebrew women. They're not like the Egyptian women. They're vigorous. They give birth before the midwife comes." So God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and grew very strong. And because the midwives had feared God, he gave them families. Then Pharaoh spoke to all the people, and he said, "Every son who is born to the Hebrews you shall throw in the Nile, and you shall let the daughters live." Now, there was a man of the house of Levi who went and married a Levite woman. She conceived and she bore a son. And when she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got for him a papyrus basket, and she plastered it with bitumen and pitch. And she put him inside. And she placed it among the reeds on the riverbank. And then his sister stood at a distance to wait and see what would happen. What would happen? The daughter of Pharaoh came down to the river to bathe, while her attendants walked beside the river. She saw the basket there among the reeds, and so she sent her maid to go and bring it. When she opened the basket, she saw the child. He was crying, and she took pity on him. She said, "This must be one of the Hebrews' children." His sister said, "Oh, shall I go and get a nurse from the Hebrew women to nurse him for you?" Daughter of Pharaoh said, "Yes." So she went and called the child's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will pay you your wages." So she took her own child and she nursed him. And when he was weaned, she brought him to Pharaoh's daughter. And he became her son. And she named him Moses, because she said, "I drew him out of the water."